For a long time, I have built my 3D printing business mostly using other people's files. And for the most part, it's worked. But recently, I hit a point where I realized something important. If I want this business to truly grow, I can't rely mostly on other people's files anymore. And that's why I'm finally teaching myself 3D modeling, not as a hobby, but as a business decision. Hi, I'm Ashley, and I have built a 6-figure bakery from my home. I'm now taking the skills that I learned from building that business and applying them to building our 3D printing business. But I'm taking you along on the ride so that you too can grow your own successful business from home. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people assume that learning to 3D model is something that you do after you have already built a successful business. Or maybe only if you want to become a designer who sells their files online. But for me, this isn't about becoming an expert overnight. It's about unlocking better opportunities for the business I'm already building. So let's get into it. Using existing files is how a lot of us start. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But over time, you can start to notice the limitations of doing it. You can't tweak things exactly how your customers might want in terms of maybe putting magnets into something. Maybe they preferred another item to be a keychain. You're really limited to what already exists and working with those files, kind of only being able to change the colors. And you're competing with other people who are selling the same prints. Now, I do still believe that there's a market for everybody out there, but at some point it can stall your growth, not because the demand isn't there, but because the control isn't there. So when a lot of people hear custom, it kind of scares them because they might think designing something right from the very start from scratch. But to me, that sounds exhausting. So yes, I do want to learn to create my own models, but in a business context, to me, custom means creating my own model that then I can take that one model and customize it with different names or text for several different orders. I'm not recreating a model each and every time somebody wants to order something from me. I am making a base of that model and then customizing it. I can make it bigger or smaller. I can change proportions. I can tweak the designs a little bit if I need to fit a really specific need. But for the most part, the models are done and it's a matter of customizing them. And the level of customization is where the value lives and where your customers are willing to pay more. And this is where things can really shift from hobby to business. I don't have to wait for a file to exist. I can create that file for my customer. Once I have figured out modeling, of course. And small changes don't require starting over. They're just quick adjustments. And since I have the files, I can easily go in and make those adjustments. That custom work will demand a higher cost. And my design time will now become an asset that I will charge appropriately for. This is a matter of me no longer selling most of the same thing as everybody else is. I'm now selling my solution to them. And it's a completely different position to be in business-wise. But the downside of it is that learning 3D modeling is very slow. It's not comfortable. I really don't understand many aspects of it, and it would be way easier for me to just avoid it altogether. I have played with the thought of paying people on Etsy or Fiverr to design models for me, and the conversations never really kind of leave me feeling that I'm going to get the item that I want to get. So I know the best way to ensure that I'm going to wind up with the product that I want is if I go through the painstaking process of learning to actually model it myself. But this is not about becoming a designer overnight because it is a long, slow, and drawn-out process. It's about unlocking better business opportunities for me down the road. And now that I am really seeing it that way, the learning curve does feel a little bit more worth it to me. Now that I am starting to learn to model a little bit more, I'm really thinking about what kind of solutions can I solve. In my bakery, for instance, every single day I'm in there working, what is something that I could design that might make my work process more organized or smoother, or something that could help bakers? Because that is a business that I work full time and I have run now for almost 6 years. I have experience and I can use that experience to think about what other problems I might solve. Think about what customizations do I see out there in the real world that I can bring into this business to solve a problem for somebody or create something that they really want, something that's fun and giftable. And mostly what is worth designing so that I can sell it many times, because that is where the true magic will lie. And that's really the whole foundation of this business. The bakery doesn't run without me physically standing in there making the products. I want this business to run on its own. I want to come up with a really great solution for people that I can design it and I can have these machines working for me. And I don't have to be in here doing that. So if you're currently building a business, whether it's a 3D printing business or something else, and you've been avoiding the skill you know that you need, I hope this gives you a push towards learning that skill. Drop a comment and tell me what that skill is. Don't forget to hit the like. It really helps small channels like mine to be seen and heard. And ultimately, I do this so that I can help other small businesses out there to be able to build something for themselves. And if you want more honest, real business content, make sure you're subscribed so you'll get notified about the next videos. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, happy printing.